who laughs or lulls or whatever on Twitter.
No, I know this guy. I know this guy. Who is this? What was his name? It was like Jake something on Twitter.
Yeah,
Well, welcome.
he's
Well, indeed, sir. This is the return of my favorite show to do on this here YouTube. It's been so long. My channel is completely dead. But that's okay. We're coming up on the new year, and I just really wanted to hang out with my buddy Skinny and anyone who happens to wander in here. Kind of miss doing this YouTube stuff. Certainly miss my bro Skinny. How you doing tonight, man?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Just hanging out,
Yeah. Hey,
doing my thing.
we got 2 people watching. That's good enough for me, man. I appreciate it.
I'm just doing my job as a professional pothead.
Yeah. Are you is your camera frozen?
Uh, Not for me.
For me it is. That's weird. Arlene. Hello, Arlene. I meant to put this in the
Maybe.
Discord earlier, but I forgot to and it got so late. It's good to be back though. Glad that you're here. Hang on, I'm gonna remove you and bring you back in. Now you're completely missing. I don't know what happened to you.
I don't know. Let me see if I can open it up on the YouTubes here.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll open it up on my.
Because maybe it's just you.
We haven't done this in so long.
Yeah, for some reason I'm not showing up on there. That's weird.
Yeah. You're not showing up at all. That's weird.
I mean, I am for me. Like on my screen. Maybe.
Let me oh, there you go. There you are. We go back to that?
Well, I'm going to go back to that, but I'm trying to. Why is my camera not working? I was dancing and everything, man. I was having a good time.
Is that right?
I guess I'll just stick with my invisible man.
I've never taken you for a dancer.
I like an invisible man.
Yeah,
he's very underrated.
It makes sense since, at least for me, I've been invisible for like the last year. I haven't touched this thing. I think I made like one short just to see how it worked. But yes, the boys are back. And we have some interesting stories for you here tonight, folks. We, of course, have the macabre, the mysterious, and the downright ridiculous. We got a special appearance by Big Nut. And you know what? Before we get started, as is tradition, I got a video to play. You guys might remember this. I worked very hard on it, so we're going to go ahead and start the show. All right, are we back? Are we back? Hello? Skinny, you still with me?
No, I'm not here.
That was a fun little intro I made with Kapwing, which surprisingly very handy for what it is. And
I've been using iMovie on my phone. Like, it's kind of funny because like people will actually compliment me on some of the ads that I've made for Otis, and they don't realize that I made it while I was taking a dump.
Well, that is the production value we strive for here on I Kind of Believe.
I call it time optimization.
Yeah, I was thinking about it earlier, Skinny. The show is. I remember when we first started it, we just kind of wanted to like be around the campfire and stare up at the stars and wonder about things together. gradually morphed into something like Art Bell by way of Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
I think that's what I want to do. That's what I want to keep doing. But yeah, have you been? We've been gone for like a year almost. Have you had any paranormal experiences or anything strange in the last year?
No, not really. Sadly, I can say. But one thing, well, we discussed it on one of our previous streams, though. But there was that Bigfoot sighting in my hometown.
Is that right?
Yeah, but yeah, it turned out to be some kids in a costume.
Oh, did they reveal it finally?
Oh yeah, it was like a week later, like a week after I had talked about it on stream. It came out, and it's like, because kids are gonna brag about shit, and yeah, I was disappointed. He's out there, man. He's out there. I believe.
I kind of believe he is too, man. Yeah, that's funny. We opened the show with Bigfoot. It was the church video, uh, and it's still on my channel somewhere. I think it was a pretty decent episode we did, but that was still still a very fun video to watch. But revisit it again as we get our sea legs back. Um, yeah, speaking of
Well, I
big,
have been watching a lot of missing 411 stuff.
I've been meaning to get into that actually.
There's this one wild stories, and I apologize that I don't remember the details. Uh, but I guess this guy was like out there hiking, and he happened on these fucking uh, big ass fucking black wolf creatures, but they were also like humanoid too, because they were walking upright,
like
and they were
werewolves.
like 8 feet fucking tall. And he said that they had the heads of wolves, and they were covered in a black, nasty looking fur.
Was it
And
Kathy and Mr. Wolf or something like that?
I don't know. Uh, it was one of the missing 411 stories, or it was related to those, about some of the because there are a lot of weird shit that happens on our national park in our national parks. A lot of really strange and unexplained shit happens. I'm talking about children suddenly moving 20 miles away within, a 24-hour period. Like, it's fucking insane how some of this shit happens. Uh, but yeah, a lot of weird shit happens out there. And the going theory that makes the most sense to me is that the national parks are set up as kind of like an area where extraterrestrials can come and kind of fuck around a bit in exchange for giving us uh, technology to study and reverse engineer, and which that kind of explains why we've had so many jumps in technology that honestly probably shouldn't have had.
Speaking of jumping technology, here's a I kind of believe OG, Mr. Zach Hawkins. How you been, brother? You see that
Yeah,
stuff?
I didn't know about that, Zach. What I'm talking about is it was just a story that this guy had retold, because I guess they chased him through the fucking woods and shit.
Hmm.
But I don't know, maybe that's linked to it. That'd be really cool if it was. But no, the going theory is like the national parks are set up, and the government's pretty much just let the aliens do weird shit.
For the missing 411 thing?
Yeah, because a lot of really weird shit happens, like shit that's not within the realm of possibility. Like I was talking about a child, I'm talking about like a freaking like 4-year-old suddenly being 20 miles up a fucking mountain at a point where even skilled mountain climbers can't even match the same time. And they don't know how the kid got up there, but he was found up there. There's a lot of weird shit like that that happens, and a lot of reports of strange fucking creatures and shit too. And a lot of fucking people go missing. Like a lot.
Well, that's what that whole missing 411 series is about, right?
Yes. But some of them are found, and that's a part of it too, because they're in such strange circumstances. Like those kids, like there was one kid who was found on like a little tiny marsh fucking island in the middle of like this fucking lake. But he was like fucking dry as a bone, dude.
The fuck?
Like there was no way for him to get out onto that thing. Like he didn't have a little boat, nothing. Like it's magic fairy dust, I guess. But
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
would.
strange fucking shit happens in those national parks, and I don't know if it's aliens or if it's cryptids or both, or but something. Once you really start, because there's a lot of weird stuff that's set up too, like the national parks actually don't keep up with like all of the missing cases.
Well, I don't think they have the manpower to go searching for all of them
Well,
either.
no, it's not that they don't record any of them. I was hearing about that too. Is there's a lot of things that they have set up to kind of make it look appear like nothing's there's not a problem. But the whole missing 411, that was private sector shit.
Huh.
That's not even the national parks coming out saying these are the. It's actually a guy who fucking noticed, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And there's no telling how many people have gone missing because the fucking national parks don't keep registries on all of them.
Yeah, and some of them don't even, I imagine, uh, keep attendance and that kind of thing.
But the
So how would you
national
know?
parks
Somebody could
are
sneak in
fucking
there.
beautiful, though. Holy shit. But
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's kind of like a lure. Like that's why they're so beautiful. They want you to go in there so the aliens can do things to your bum.
Zach says they cover it up and you can FOIA request it, but you get nothing.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I think that's one of the people was talking about. That's what I was talking about. They don't keep the records because they were trying to, and that's how they got around it. Is they just don't keep the records. So there's nothing you can request. Like it's really strange. And FOIA is really fucked up, anyways. That whole system needs to be reworked.
Well, yeah. Well, like look at what happened with the CIA basically admitting, how involved they were with JFK recently, and no one cared.
I mean, I cared, but I cared before they, admitted it. But and
Department
they're
of the
still
Interior.
involved. That's why they made fucking Reagan take on Bush as a fucking vice president, and that's why Bush ended up becoming president. Bush was one of the directors of the CIA, and he was there in Dallas in 1964, the day that it happened. He was there.
Wasn't it 63?
JFK was assassinated in 64, I thought.
No, because they had that show 11/22/63, I think.
I thought that was about like him going back to the day before, though.
Maybe. I don't know. Twitter
I'm
files will
pretty sure
reveal.
it was fucking 64.
I think it was 63. I'll look it up. The Twitter files will reveal that there's active suppression of those with proof Big Nut exists.
Oh, it is 63. Why the fuck am I thinking it's 64? Something else happened in
You're probably thinking of Nintendo
1964,
64.
and like the time stream in my brain has been
Have you been to any national parks recently?
no. But they probably would have wiped my brain if I had. But I mean, if you really think about it, a lot of people connected to Kennedy were fucking killed too, including Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. And talk about a
But
big nut.
other things I was reading was that Kennedy wanted to pretty much just he found out what the CIA was doing and he wanted to get rid of them. And that's pretty much why.
Which is why they ignored Oswald.
No, they didn't ignore Oswald. They killed him. They had their own fucking people kill him, just like they had their own fucking people assassinate Martin Luther King. And they tried to pin it on some other dude. And none of the evidence mounted up. Even the fucking family of Martin Luther King even said that the guy that they accused of killing him, there's like, he didn't do it. There's no way. Because the guy didn't even hate Martin Luther King. He didn't really give a shit. He's just wrong place, wrong time. But none of it added up. And they were even pushing to have the government release their records to show that they fucking did it. So, I mean, this isn't anything new. It shouldn't be any. I don't understand when people started to trust the government, because maybe it's just because my parents were kind of hippies to an extent. My dad was born in 52, so he grew up in the 60s. Um, he went from 8 to 18 in the 60s. And I think my mom was born in 63 or something like that. But she pretty much grew up in the 70s. But I don't know, man. Like, it's just weird. I was always kind of taught, at least from my parents and from some of, like, a lot of the older media, that the government is always out to fuck you. Never trust the government. And then in today's day and age, it's this sudden shift to everybody just trust the government, trust the government, trust the government. And anybody who questions the government is a bad person.
Yeah,
And
all of
I'm
a sudden
like,
you're spreading
what
misinformation.
happened? Because never supposed to trust the government.
Uncle Ted was MK Ultra. Yeah, easier thinking for themselves, but I think people the last 2 years picked up government. Not only started trusting them, but they started using the government to back up their shit opinions.
Well, I mean, they've been putting fucking fluoride in the water, and
They've been
like
closing up the
like we
pineal
see
gland.
with the feds right now, they have been controlling the fucking narratives on Twitter. They have been making them put up certain things and completely get rid of other things. Um, and honestly, we could sit here and say that most people are free thinking individuals, but they're not. They're all fucking sheep. And when the feds control Twitter, they control the sheep. They can make them think whatever they want to, because they have a lot of experience with this, especially with psyops and manipulation. Recorded, fucking, what was it, like Peru or one of these other fucking countries, the CIA. This is documented. This is fucking proven. They fucking admitted it. But they were over there uh, wanting to overthrow. To reestablish one government. So they started to say that all the refugees were fucking vampires and shit. And they actually kidnapped people walking down trails, drained their fucking blood, put puncture wounds in their fucking neck, threw them back on the trail so they would be found, and the fucking people out there would think they were fucking vampires. And this is all shit that the CIA has done. This is all open fucking shit. The records are there. And you don't think that they're not doing this kind of shit with their own people?
Hey Zach, you're welcome anytime. Are
I'll
you
send
still on
him the
Twitter?
link.
Yeah, send him the link.
I'll
This has been
send
way
it
too
to
long,
you
Zach.
on Twitter, I suppose.
Yeah.
Unless you'd prefer me to send it to you on Discord. Twitter's being really weird.
Well, while we do that, let me ask you about this, Skinny. What do you think of that?
I don't know. I'm sending Zach a link. Why are you trying to show me shit while I'm trying to do something, man? Worse than my wife.
No, in our
Oh,
group chat.
man. Who gave you those photos of me? What do I
well,
think about this?
well, I think you're actually a 30-foot aquatic dinosaur from the Mesozoic era.
But, I mean, I don't see any reason why I should not believe it.
Yeah, we're gonna leave this up, Arlene, for sure. Thanks for
I
stopping
kind of
by.
believe that this is real. I mean,
Uh-huh. It's a striking resemblance, I gotta admit.
well, I don't go streaking on the river anymore, but I did used to.
Well, it's funny, the weird thing about the CIA that always got to me was they're an American organization, right? But they're not allowed to operate on US soil.
That hasn't stopped them. I mean, they they fucked over the entire black community. They're the ones who introduced crack into the system. They were fucking helping the fucking cartels bring a shit ton of stuff over because they were making extra money off of it.
I agree.
I mean, this is all recorded stuff. I'm not even talking about conspiracy theories. I'm talking about documented facts. This shit has all happened. And it's just crazy that anybody would want an agency that does shit like that to exist. I don't. I never have. As soon as I figured out the shady shit the feds were doing, I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and we're paying for it for some reason.
Yeah, we foot the fucking bill for it. And they fuck around and they're responsible for the Taliban. They trained all of them.
Hell, they
Nobody
even put them.
cared.
They even put
Nobody gave a shit.
They even put the Mujahideen in Rocky 3 or Rambo
I
3.
mean,
Excuse me.
you could probably like go to YouTube. A lot of this shit has been talked about on the news, but with the CIA thing, one source for the vampire thing, there's a channel called Wendigoon, like Wendigo, but it's Wendigoon, and he has a whole fucking video detailing it, and I'm sure I think he cites his sources as well. But I mean, the information is just scattered all over. There's no central fucking website like I could point you to that I'm aware of.
There's really just our YouTube show where you can get the information now. Racing Sense.
It's pretty much just most of it exists. But the CIA documented stuff, that's all detailed in a lot of different books. There's podcasts with Joe Rogan. There's one where the guy goes into the links between MK Ultra and fucking Charles Manson. That one's a very interesting one to watch.
I was not aware of a connection there.
Huh. I didn't know about that either, but I figured that they were doing shit anyways. I mean, they had been doing it back in the fucking 60s and 70s, running cocaine. They were the main ones who were using the low flying planes and doing those fucking package drops and shit, like out in Tennessee and everything. If you weren't aware, a lot of it was quote unquote undercover work, which was just them picking up side work from the fucking cartels. It's really crazy. And the strange thing is, it's like they're all. Why hasn't anybody been arrested like with in connection with Epstein, but besides Ghislaine? Like seriously, think about it. You arrest the head of a sex trafficking or human trafficking ring, sex trafficking ring, and you only get 2 people. Where's the detective work? Where's you doing your fucking job? That shit pisses me off. No, they're too busy manipulating the American people over fucking politics. They don't care about people. They don't care about justice. I know some people do like the ACAB, the all cops are bastards thing.
Right.
Well, I do AFAB. All feds are bastards because at this point, even the good ones, they have let their system get that corrupt. There's no way in hell they're not aware of what's going on. So there's not a single good fed out there, man. They're
I
all complacent. They're all none of them are trying to expose what's going on. You get a whistleblower once in a great while and nothing fucking happens. That's why I say all feds are bastards. Fuck them.
yeah.
They should all be tried and convicted for all the crimes that they have committed under the color of law.
Well, that and they apparently they set up our national parks to abduct people.
Yeah, that too.
Which I mean, a couple of goofballs get lost in the woods. Who's really paying attention, right?
Yeah, and normally, it would fall into that, but the amount of disappearances is just staggering, man. It's and the fact that they're not trying to do anything about it, they're not implementing anything. They have strict things where they're not supposed to even talk about it.
Right. Like Wanderer earlier posted there. They kind of have like policies against that, right?
Yeah, which is very strange. But at the same time, they did have similar policies. This is one thing. This is pre-Katrina.
Uh-huh.
Just to give everybody, I'm not sure about post Katrina, but pre Katrina, New Orleans was a lot of people went missing in New Orleans, and the politicians wouldn't let them report on it because they didn't want anybody to not come down and for the tourism. So they put money in front of, you know, people's well-being, and that's just fucking that's abysmal, man. That's terrible. That's not a government.
Well, it's so much. It's running on so much fear lately too. They got us all scared for the last 2 years.
Oh yeah, beware of this virus that kills uh like 0.002 people.
Yeah, towards the end of
Yeah.
this thing, I
And
was looking.
I'm gonna sound heartless by saying this, but it really annoyed me when people are like, "But old people," and I'm like, "Dude, old people get fucking killed by a
Falling
bad
down.
case of the cold." I mean, old people die of everything. I don't mean to sound heartless. I wish old people didn't die. I wish people didn't die, period. But they do. And old people die of fucking everything.
They fall
They
down
got
and break their hip.
fucking, half of them got fucking skin that's like tissue paper, for fuck's sake. They're the most fragile people on this planet beyond babies. And at least babies have a really good immune system going for them because their shit's like on fucking crack. It's like just coming out. And Doug Garrett's in there with his poop emoji.
Oh, Doug.
If you want to come on, Doug, I'll send you the link. But I get a feeling you're at work.
The poop emoji would concur with that idea. Doug's been having a shitty time recently.
And you got to think, who else is going around flying all of these fucking immigrants in the dead of night? Dropping them off, because that's been reported on too. And I'm not talking about like the fucking DeSantis shit where they're busing people back to, where they are. But I'm talking about there were reports where they were just dropping in just tons and tons of illegal immigrants into across the United States into certain cities in the dead of night, kind of like how Obama sent all that fucking pallet of cash to Iran.
Yeah. How that wasn't further scrutinized, I have no idea. I love the story of how he drone striked an American civilian, too.
What annoys me, especially about leftists, at least, is that they hear me complain about shit and they assume that, like, I'm a Republican and they just immediately hate me because they think I'm a Republican. For starters, that whole system is fucked. That mindset is just retarded. But I hate Republicans too. I hate all the politicians pretty equally. I think they're all just a bunch of blowhards, and they're just really just in it for their. Because Republicans don't do anything. They talk
lose
a
pretty
lot,
good.
but then they get control and nothing happens. I think I saw somebody say on Twitter at one point, they say Republicans do nothing and Democrats create problems. And that's pretty much it.
Well, Republicans have been real good lately at losing.
They've been good at, well, they've got the fucking military industrial complex. I mean,
Halliburton.
But the left does too. Both sides love war, and I don't know. I don't like war.
Cernovich was up there talking about that recently. That Andrew Tate had to be canceled because he was the one guy telling young men, "Don't go die for your country," and they can't have somebody with that level of influence out there with that message.
I would say die for your country. But die for your country. Don't die for Ukraine. Don't die for Afghanistan. Don't die for whatever bumfuck place that they want you to die for. Die for your country. Die if somebody invades, die fighting off those guys. Otherwise, don't fucking worry about it. I agree with Andrew Tate. Don't fucking join.
Yeah, don't go die for anybody. Fuck that.
I mean, there is an honor to it, and I don't mean to disparage anybody who has served. And I know a lot of people who have served, and their reasons for serving were noble, and they were good causes. But even they understand that what they did was not serving their country.
Well, yeah, I put almost 8 years in myself, and I have a lot of interesting ideas and thoughts about my service, but I'm
the sad thing is
I
like
didn't
some
come
of
home
you
to
guys
think I was
pretty
a
much
hero.
committed war crimes, but you were told that it was for the good of your country. Like, what the hell are a bunch of fucking sand niggers gonna do? Like, seriously, they got AKs. They're in caves. What are they gonna do to us? Like another 9/11? Okay. I'm pretty sure the government was behind that one too. Building 7. Nobody taught. I think it's Building 7. I'm really bad about keeping up with facts. Let me look this up because I was thinking fucking 1964. Was it Building 7? Yeah. Building 7 had a controlled demolition. And that was crazy. Like you look at the footage, just go on YouTube and look up Building 7. I did get that one right. Oh, hey, somebody popped in here. Who is it? Is it Zach?
It's Zach. What's up, man?
Hey.
You know, it's kind of strange that we found their passports, though. Like, out of all the destruction and fires and steel beams and the whole thing, and somehow passports survived all of that.
Oh, it's just wild, ain't it?
Yeah, it's just strange, you know? It's weird.
So how you guys?
Good, man. It's been way too long.
I'm good.
It's really
I
good
think
to be
voting
back.
matters, but you have to start local. You have to find new people that you want to move up, that you actually believe in, that you feel are going to push things in a good direction.
What's up, guy from Red Bank?
But voting for president, no, there's really no point. They're rigging shit, so it really doesn't matter.
What's up, Jeff Potts?
Doug, would it be mine?
Yeah, it's I
I
think
mean, I don't even agree with like the mail-in voting, man. Like, if you want to vote, you should fucking walk your ass over there and fucking vote. I mean, fuck. It's your responsibility to get there.
well, that's what Tim Pool's been saying. Ballot harvesting is how the left keeps winning.
But yeah, that system is completely rigged. But locally is where you can really make a difference. Especially pay attention to your fucking sheriffs, because you want a sheriff that will tell the feds to go fuck themselves, because they have that power. They can tell the ATF to leave. They can tell the FBI to leave.
I've seen that.
And they will also stand up to their own state. What was it? Iroquois or something like that up in Illinois. Their board actually put out a thing because the state of Illinois is putting out like a fucking high capacity and an assault weapons ban or something like that. They're trying to implement. But anyways, the county board put out a statement saying, no, we're not. And you're not going to be arresting our people for it either. And no. So if we start paying more attention, pay less attention to the presidential shit, pay more attention to your local politics, because that's what's going to fucking change. That's where the powers are going to really be. That's where we'll really make a difference.
Motherfucking Scott Steiner is on the local like Department of Education board near where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wrestler. Oh yeah, that's where the power is.
But yeah,
he ran unopposed the last election because I guess nobody wanted to catch a fucking suplex backstage at the fucking committee meeting.
And if the school boards are fucked, start getting parents to run for the fucking school board. Like, we can get these fucks out, at least locally. We might not be able to do a hell of a lot for the federal shit, but at least we can secure our fucking towns to a degree.
Maybe we can even arrest.
It's good to hear you again, Zach.
Oh, yeah. The world has been a crazy place. You know. What can we say? Oh,
We can say that a trans-species man who identifies as a squirrel was arrested.
Why does this guy look like a lighter toned Kanye?
oh no.
Doesn't he?
Oh no, he does. I'm having to hold my phone closer to my head, but yeah.
He's gonna start talking about the Ujays next.
49-year-old.
Oh, fine. 49. I guess black don't crack.
49-year-old Barry Wild is a well-known trans-species activist who spends most of his time living the life of a squirrel in a 460-acre wooded area that his parents own in central Georgia.
What? Central Georgia? I could go meet this guy?
Yeah, he's probably in jail.
You know what? His
Oh.
teeth look like they've been through some nuts.
Is this big nut?
Although he claims to live off the land by eating wild fruits, mushrooms, and pine nuts, he's accused of complementing his food supply with more than 42 tons of stolen peanuts.
Dude, I'm sure he eats plenty of mushrooms too.
He compliments his meal with 2 tons of stolen peanuts.
He needed the
I
protein.
just imagine some guy like with like a plate of fucking like fungus and mushrooms, and then he just goes over this truck of fucking peanuts. He just sprinkles.
Deputy Eric Smith of the Bacon County Sheriff's Department says more than 20 tons of nuts were found on the property where he lives. We found 2 huge heaps of peanuts during our search of the property. We believe he may have already buried half of it in his preparation for winter. Mr. Smith says the accused borrowed a car, a rifle, and 2 pistols from his parents without their knowledge and used them to hijack 2 trucks filled with peanuts at gunpoint. Everything used in the robbery can be linked to his parents. Even the rope he used to tie up the drivers was bought by his mother just before the crimes from their home's flagpole. Very wild.
Like she bought the drivers like slaves, or she bought them off.
I don't know. He
Get them on Black Friday sale.
Like, can you imagine that conversation too? Like, hey man, like my son's up there and his ass thinks he's like a squirrel or some shit, and he's gonna like attack you and try to steal your truck. But you know, here's like $20. If you don't like call the law, he probably won't hurt you. He just wants the nuts. You know, just don't call the cops.
So he faces 13 total charges, and if he's found guilty, he faces a maximum of 225 years in jail and a $725,000 fine.
Do you know how long that is in squirrel years?
Yeah, I know, man.
And
I wonder
like
if he's
18
gonna
life
try to
sentences.
like go for like squirrel years.
I didn't know that squirrels ate peanuts.
How long is a squirrel year? Because like if he identifies as a squirrel,
The trial should start in January, and he's remaining in detention till then. So at least there's that. Yeah, Alvin and the chipmunk.
I will say from personal experience, there is a lot of
Okay,
peanut
so,
farmery and processing in central Georgia.
Do you think?
So this doesn't surprise me. He was able to get that many peanuts.
Do you think Jimmy Carter?
so like a
Might be in on
squirrel
it?
year, like one human year is 5 squirrel years.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
So we're
According
looking
to
at
the
2,500 years in jail.
yeah.
Apparently, it's 8.89 kangaroo years
How many in
and
Big Nut years?
5.33 chicken years
Yeah, but how many Big Macs per hour is that?
and 10 guinea pig years and 20 goldfish years. Holy shit, 20 mouse years. God damn.
I don't have any squirrel related.
Yeah, if I were him, I'd be trying to get, my sentence in squirrel years.
Yeah. It's a damn shame what happened to people.
I mean, he wasn't hurting anyone. He literally was just a squirrel trying to get his nut.
Wasn't there that other guy that got like shot because he was like naked and was acting like a deer or some shit?
Yeah, maybe not naked, but he was painted out like a deer, and apparently got blasted by a. I don't know if it was both of them or just one hunter.
I mean,
I remember finding out that was real, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I thought it was a Babylon Bee article.
Yeah, but like you gotta think, like, does the hunter get off? Like, it's
Oh, I'm sure he got off when he saw what had actually happened. Finally got me another one of them perverts.
I mean, does he still get to take the body home? Like, it's not murder. Like, he thought it
Well,
was
they didn't
a
kill
deer.
the guy.
Oh,
He like winged him pretty bad.
I was kind of
Yeah,
hoping for something a little more grim.
I'm sure the hunter was too.
I've never had person before.
Well, I was going to say, you imagine mounting that head on that fucking rack and on the fucking wall? I would retire that rifle and have his hands holding it on the mount. I don't know. I don't really got much more on that.
Guy from Red Bank says he's gonna get nuts in prison.
I wonder. I hope.
What kind of prison?
To, like,
He's gonna get nuts.
smuggle nuts for
You
them.
want to get nuts?
Oh, speaking of prison and whatnot, I just watched the funniest effing movie. It's called Blood In, Blood Out. It's not the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Oh,
It
that's
came
what,
out in like '93, and it's the story of this white kid that's actually Hispanic that goes to prison for most of his life. Highly recommend it. Hilarious movie.
yeah, it's with Edward James Olmos, right?
He might be in it.
Yeah, I remember because
I can't-
when I was in basic training, one of my mates would always tell me, he'd come up behind me and like poke me with his fingers, and he'd go, "Blood on my knife or poop on my dick." And apparently,
That might happen.
I know
there's
a quote from the movie.
There is a part where a dude gets thrown headfirst into a jail cell, and this guy that was like being all buddy with him was like, "Nothing's free in here. I'll give you some chon chon," and like tries to rape him anyway. But it's hilarious because like the dude's such like a not great actor. He's not terrible, but he's not great. This dude that's like pretending he's about to get him some payback. Good movie. Blood In, Blood Out. Not the Jean-Claude Van Damme one. I think it's the only other movie called that.
Oh, okay.
It took me like 3 weeks to track down all the clips on YouTube.
You go hard, man. I didn't think people actually watch those. Like, I see those pop up in search results once in a while, like one of 77 or some shit like that.
Right.
Interesting way to watch a movie.
It was. I was waiting. I know a buddy that may or may not have a way of posting just whatever movie on the internet to a site he knows of. But he wasn't able to find it in time, so I started watching it on YouTube.
I got you prizes.
Mayor.
Oh, yeah.
Cheese.
How do, Miss Skinny?
I got a couple more funny videos.
Nice.
All right.
Let me know what you guys think of this. Hang on.
What in the world? I thought you already bought tomato soup.
Let me know what you think of this.
Hello? Hello? Oh my god!
All day.
Face.
What do you guys think of that?
It was tiny on my screen, but I could hear it, and it was hilarious.
But yeah, I found these.
You think that was a
They're like
legitimate
the
scare?
ones at Taylor's house.
That motherfucker sounds scared.
Well, they are the ones from Taylor's.
Have a good night, Arlene.
Good night. Yeah, my mother, when she gets badly startled, she screams so ungodly loud. It's like she'll just deafen whatever's trying to attack her.
One way to deal with it. I think we lost Skinny. Garden. Still with us, Skinny? Anyway, so I was just cruising around. I was looking for stuff to talk about on the show, and I saw that video. And
That's pretty good.
yeah, it's an interesting video. It's set up right. You know, it's got the fruit factor.
I didn't see, like, did he actually see something? I couldn't quite make it out.
Yeah, it was like this figure in white, and it looked like a nun or something. It looked like he was in a church.
Oh, okay.
The reason I thought the video was interesting was because the little warble he does at the top of his screen. I thought that was pretty convincing. I don't know. Maybe he's just a good actor.
I got you.
Well, maybe, but it sounded fairly genuine to me.
Yeah.
But
Like, he sounded scared.
open your
Like
present.
when you wake up and realize that you're late for work kind of thing.
Oh, I hate that feeling. That's why I set 3 alarms these days.
Are you playing with Dr. Trump?
Apparently so, yeah. If he would ever start the effing game, he's the
Remember, we
host.
liked the Walmart kind and the kind that we got in that snack box.
Yeah.
So, and I like the nests. So if you save me the nests, I'll be happy.
You get one, maybe 2. But yeah, I like the nests too.
Not the
Sorry.
Breaking Bad RP.
But yeah,
That would be hilarious, but
you
no.
got your bag of fucking Pringles.
I'm gonna mute you.
Skinny, them snacks is loud as fuck.
I'm gonna mute him till he comes back.
I'm trying not to chew this pizza too loud. I was like, oh my God. The missus over there just tearing into a huge stack of cellophane.
I know they're talking about Walmart and shit. I'm gonna check on them.
Yeah. Oh my God, it put me back in the same game. Motherfucker, I just wanted to join a quick game. Yep. So the national parks thing was interesting. There's definitely some shit going on there.
Yeah,
Hi.
Let's see, the topic before that, remind me, I was kind of listening in on my drive back to the house.
Oh, we were talking about the CIA a little bit, but the 401
Right.
thing was really interesting because Skinny was talking about.
All right.
Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. My wife came back from groceries. I got baklava.
Oh, hell yeah.
I love baklava.
There is
got the
a-
kind that has like the fucking nests.
I don't know. There is this song called Baklava Lover that I think you might enjoy. It's got a real funky, like, Middle Eastern twang to it overall.
I fucking love baklava.
Oh, dude, my buddy's mom back in, like, early high school made it. It was the first time I ever had it. It was a little, like, 1 inch by 1 inch square. Or it's probably a little
Yeah.
cube. It was so sweet.
But it's not even like sugars. It's all fucking honey and shit.
Yeah. Honey and that phyllo dough, and it's just, oh, it was so good.
It's fucking delicious, and it's not actually that unhealthy.
So, dear listener, what we would like to say to you is that if you have not experienced the wonder that is baklava, Get yourself out there and try some.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll thank yourself later.
Next.
Not right now.
Oh.
I'm not opening it right this second. I will later, and then you'll get some then. You want a gummy worm?
Oh, thank you.
I also got an almost 2-pound bag of gummy worms too.
Are they the sour kind?
No, they're just,
Ah.
I
Not a
used to
masochist.
love the sour stuff when I was a kid, but now not so much.
Yeah, now it like just turns the roof of my mouth into bloody shreds. All that salt on it,
Yeah,
or whatever the hell it is.
But these
It's
are,
like eating Captain Crunch nowadays.
I got those Black Forest ones though, but those are really good because they're actually supposedly they're made with real fruit juice.
Mm. And the game booted my ass back to this. All right. I'm going to just say screw the EA servers and find something else.
But I know there used to be like, I guess one of the earlier memes where it was like they were talking about how like gummies and gelatins are made from like fucking horse bones and hooves and shit like that.
Yeah, used to be. Jello originally was.
I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. I like horse hooves.
Tastes good, keep shit held together.
Yeah,
What's
they
not to
go-
like?
What it's made of, man. It could be made out of people, and I'd probably still like Jello. So
It goes down really well with tap water.
that Soylent Jello.
That's how I keep my pineal eye closed.
Hey man, the more fluoride, the better.
I don't know,
Stop
I
you
feel
having to
like
think
people
about
are
shit.
Picky about kitchens too. Like, if
Oh,
I
what?
see like a kitchen, like at a place I'm eating, and if it's like too clean, I know that like most of their stuff's probably going to be microwaved.
Well, that's how Applebee's operates.
Like some of the best kitchens have a certain level of dirty that they just can't help. It's just the way it is. It's just a part of being
yeah.
the business, you know.
The CIA designed the kitchens that way.
Like if you ever see a place that might have a rat problem, doesn't mean that they're not trying to get rid of them. But I'm just saying that some of the best food comes from some of the dirtiest fucking kitchens.
Yeah. Sometimes it might not be a caper, but you guess what? You pay for the experience.
Yeah.
And if anyone gets that reference, put it in chat and you'll get several internet points, I guess.
They'll get a virtual hug.
Yes, yes.
Why is Femboy Hooters trending on Twitter?
What the fuck? Fanboy Hooters. Because of degeneracy, that's why.
I've never liked Hooters because I always felt like the girl should be topless.
Fair point. I mean, it is kind of false advertising.
Hooters just seems like the pussy way of getting at of like a strip club. Like I've had friends like as kids that their parents took them to Hooters, and even now I always find that incredibly inappropriate.
Wouldn't
Like
be my
actual children age, like preteen,
Yeah.
are you talking? Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's just, it's like a diet strip club.
Uh-huh.
It's like the Coke Zero of strip clubs, in a sense. Like no tits, you know. You just get to see them under the shirt.
Well,
And they generally both expect you to buy at least one drink when you're there.
I want that goth IHOP to like actually happen though.
Goth IHOP.
Yeah.
Well, you have to go to one of the national parks, and they have them there.
I'm just gonna say, if you're going to use sex to sell, just go all the way, man.
Yeah.
Hooters needs to go topless.
You hear that, Hooters? Quit being such a pussy. Just do it already.
Man, if my camera was actually working, I could show you guys.
Well, guys, that's all I got for tonight.
Yeah.
Right on, right on.
But we're gonna do this some more. I'll have some more stories coming up, more research. Thanks to everyone who stopped in. Thanks, Zach, for coming back.
Hey,
Been way
man.
too long
Thanks
without
for being
somebody.
back.
Yeah. We'll add you to the green room if you want to throw in some research.
Yeah.
We'll have a good time.
See what we can do from time to time here.
Yeah, see? If we don't get
Yeah.
caught at the goth IHOP in the National Forest. Yeah.
You look in the back and it's effing Bigfoot back there slinging a spatula.
I bet Bigfoot makes a mean omelet.
I
I
think
thought you were going to say Bigfoot laying up one of the waitresses, but all right.
Yeah, just railing the waitress by the dish area.
Yeah,
He just
Sam-
looks over and like winks at you.
Just a
Expects-
horrified dishwasher in the corner.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, thanks for everyone for stopping by. Look for more coming soon, and let me play us out here. Pretty sure I got a goodbye for us. Thought I had a goodbye set up.